Podium Audio presents Exodus Ark, Volume 1, Books 1 and 2 of Exodus Ark, written by J.N. Chaney, performed by Jeffrey Kafer. Book 1. Exodus Ark. Chapter 1. In the moments before my entire world shifted, I sat on the edge of my bunk doing what I did second best, waiting for orders. I was on standby between assignments. As for what I did best, well, that usually came after the orders. The barracks where my BSC, Black Shield Corps unit was housed, looked like every other one of the hundreds I'd been in over my lifelong tenure in the military. When I was just a kid, there had been a bedroom, but the memory of it was so old and dull now that it felt more like a lost, forgotten picture. The beds here were in rows, each of them neatly made and uniform, the same way we'd been taught. Each wall locker was ruthlessly organized and mostly identical, with only the smallest of discrepancies between them. My men, well, they weren't mine exactly since they belonged to the Corps, but they were certainly under my command, sat in exactly the same spot on each of their beds, facing forward, palms on their knees, creating a straight line to the last bunk. I sat in the first bed, my feet planted on the floor, facing forward. I couldn't see the others, but I knew without looking that they were as rigid as me, calm and still enough that we could have easily been mistaken for statues. The BSC, while not a military branch recognized by any government, frowned on individuality, and for good reason. We were weapons above all else, and we would be that way until we died. Announcement, clip, communication, liaison, information program began. The artificial intelligence often relayed orders so people wouldn't have to. Designations 0414, 1021, and 9788 must report to the medical bay for daily injections. The summoned soldiers filed out in near-mechanical motions forged by years of rigid, repetitive practice. Each was tall and muscular, the paragon of human excellence in all its glory. Scientists had produced each of us using only the best donor genes, then upped the ante by editing DNA profiles until they had succeeded in creating a new breed of human. Their final product became the Black Shield Corps. Organic soldiers, heavily modified to perfection, or as near to it as they could get with the tools they had at their disposal. This resulted in increased stamina, intelligence, above-average healing, and higher AQ, aggression quality. That being said, there were still outlying factors that could have a negative impact on training, namely emotions. Emotions could give a soldier pause and get them killed. They got in the way, so the scientists figured out how to get rid of them. Not through genetics, though, but rather medication, a special blend designed to keep us from reacting to outside stimuli. Aggression, depression, joy, the exact emotional response didn't matter. We simply had to stay leveled and calm, always focused and never distracted. The perfect soldier. This, combined with rigid mental training, helped us respond logically and without any pesky feelings to get in the way, particularly those that would cause us to hesitate, assuring we would show no mercy. And I was fine with that. War would never go out of style, and the BSC had made damn sure its assets were at the top of every government's wish list. They rented us out to whoever had the money, and we were pricey. 9464, the CO wants you in his office. Upon hearing my designation, my eyes flicked up. The voice had come from the speaker on the wall. Clip again. Next to the speaker, a mounted camera watched us at all times, its red eye a constant reminder that we were never alone, at least here at headquarters. The cameras weren't in every place we'd get stationed, but on the occasion they were, unedited soldiers complained. I didn't really get it. If everyone did what they were supposed to, there was nothing to worry about. BSC soldiers followed orders, and I had yet to see one disciplined for disorderly conduct. Not in all my years of service. I made my way to the commander's office, where I found him sitting at his usual position behind a heavy wooden desk. He didn't stand up when I came in, though I didn't expect him to. CO Taft had one elbow on the desk, his knuckle propping up his chin. Instead of his habitually composed face, he looked distracted. That was strange, given our previous encounters. Usually he would have an extra tablet for me, with a dossier for an
Sample complete. Ready to continue?